Spirit,
They better do it, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
You better get them, Lord.
Holy Spirit,
Before I get them, Lord.
activate.
Hey.
Activate. Look your Holy Spirit, activate.
Oh no.
Holy Spirit, activate. Holy Spirit, activate. Activate.
Hey, hey,
Look your
they say I ain't saved because I cuss a little bit. But you're the only judge that I need, and that's it. They always in my business because they say I backslid. They read the Holy Bible, but they ain't applying it. So Holy Spirit, activate. If you do it right now, that would be great. I ain't trying to smack this chick in the face. Don't you see me down here trying to change my way? So
Holy Spirit,
you better do it, Lord.
Yeah. Shout out to my baby, Arlisha. Okay, I have to get this done because I have to go get my kids. Well, one kid from school, the other one has volleyball practice. So I have to go get my hi, sweet my for life. I love you, sweetheart. So yeah, I have to hurry up and do this. And y'all is already late, so I don't have time. Just came back from the dentist. They putting different stuff in my mouth. They supposed to take stuff out, but they put more stuff in. It's annoying talking about some finishing up, whatever. So I have to go ahead and go live. Jump on in it, okay? Y'all could have listened to the whole thing of the Holy Spirit activate if y'all was not late. Y'all should have been on time. I was sitting over here waiting for y'all. That's what they were. I was waiting for y'all. Yes, special girl, y'all was late. Okay? As a group, this don't have nothing to do with me. Y'all should have been here 3-4 minutes ago, and we could have gone ahead and listened to the thing. But we can't. So shout out to Arlisha. Arlisha, this is their fault. I guess, girl. I would have let it play longer, get you some Instagram tea and clout, girl. But the people was late. Yes, they were. All of them. Collectively. So please hit the like. Please hit the like. This is not my fault, it's your fault. Please hit the like. Please hit the like. Absolutely. Absolutely. I love you guys. I love you. Shout out to all of you. I would definitely, no, don't take with Tootsie. Don't say be here. No. What does that mean? That just means you need to talk to the other people that was late. Don't talk to me. That just means talk to the other people that was late, sweetie. Yeah, I said you guys were late as a unit. Correct. As a unit. So, y'all, don't talk to me. What you talking to me for? What? Hello? Yeah, I'm gonna need you to get with the other people that was late, girl. That's all that means. Don't talk to me. So, can we discuss the 1,000 bottles of lube on the wall? Why not? Why not? So let's get into these topics. I'm going to jump right in. Okay, let's start with, because we're going to listen to the press conference. It's not long. It's only like 10 minutes long. So we're going to listen to the whole press conference and some other things we're going to listen to. I saw that there was a 16-page letter written. Why, Lord? Why? Written by, I believe it was the federal government. Wanting Diddy to stay in jail, wanting Sean Combs to stay in jail. Here's my thing before we jump into this, right? Here's my thing. The federal government, I'm going to need y'all to loudly shut the fuck up. Okay? Please hit the like. Please hit the like. Please hit the like. Yes. I'm going to need the federal government to shut the fuck up. No, I am not reading that dry arse letter, 16 pages. Aaliyah said 4. Aaliyah said 4. So now I'm not listening to them because y'all the ones who've been letting him get away with this for so long. Imagine most of y'all being in his pocket, but y'all want to write letters. Hello? Federal government. This is y'all fault. And don't you ever forget it. Yeah, absolutely. How you writing letters about, please keep the person that we've been letting out for quite some time and run amok and, invite princes and presidents and vice presidents and all of that to their home during these freak out parties. Please keep him in there. What? Y'all gotta write a letter, a 16-page one at that. Y'all couldn't just call down there and just keep him in there. Thank you. Y'all, hello? Like, y'all run it. What are you talking about? I said, yeah, I'm not reading nothing that y'all said. Federal government. I say, yeah, please loudly shut up. Somebody weird. That you guys are writing letters and all of that. Don't. Y'all could have been writing these letters in the 90s. Don't write it in 2024. Don't let them get away with this for damn near 30 years, 30, 40 years. And now all of a sudden, he's a flight risk. Y'all gave him the plane. Y'all gave him the clearance to go to these different islands and countries and whatnot with the people turn. That was y'all on the runway. Talk about that wasn't us. Ooh, girl. So yeah. No, you do not get to come over here with us. No, we're not going to be one. We're absolutely not. Y'all tried it. So yeah, that's enough people that's been letting me get away with this. Shout out to the Bish Gossip. Shout out to them. I followed them and them a girl. Diddy's defense lawyers asked for his release on $50 million bail package. Now this is inside of the indictment, but we didn't get that far. We only got to like page like 8 or 9 because we had just gotten in. I had to leave. But we're going to finish reading the indictment after we watch the press conference. So now in this indictment, Diddy's defense team is requesting that he gets out on the $50 million package. And guess who? He wants to bail him out. The defense proposes the following bail package: a $50 million bail, co-signed by Sean Combs Gross, his mother, his sister, the mother of his oldest daughter, and his 3 adult sons, Not all the people he controlled. Not all the people he financially been taking care of for years. Not them people. Not the people that owe him everything. You might as well just release him to himself if you gon' correct. So yeah, of course his mama, why wouldn't she when he done, barbecue so good make you want to slap your mama? He done slapped his mama. He sure did. So not the woman he slapped. God only knows what he did to his daughter mother. That's why I said sister. Yes, he does have a sister. He does. Absolutely. If he was your brother, would you be showing yourself? Would you be? Take that. She knew this day would come. Correct. Some people stay out of the spotlight for a reason. Just like a lot of people didn't know that Robert Sylvester had a sister, and whatnot. They're like, he got a sister? They didn't even know he had a wife. Twice. Think about it. No one knew that he was married to Aaliyah until years later. And no one knew that he was married to Andrea until years later. Nobody knew. Nobody knew. So yeah, celebrities have a way of hiding family members. Correct. Chris Brown has a sister. You ever see her? Ever hear in the media? He has a sister. He got a sister. Correct. She just stay out of the line of fire. But yeah, there's plenty of people with siblings. Trey Songz has a brother. There's plenty of people, but you just, hear about the celebrity like you don't hear about their sibling. Not everybody a duo, like Chloe and Halle, Cardi and Hennessy. Not everybody's like that. Everybody's like that. Beyonce has a sister. Beyonce has a sister. Jay-Z has a sister. There's plenty of people that have sisters, just whatever. So yes, so his sister, his mama, and them 3 boys that is in the lawsuits, except for Quincy, okay, because he is not of that DNA. Neither is I mean, we're gonna keep it real. Neither is Justin. I mean, but whatever. So so the people that's in the lawsuit, I said, how y'all gonna let sued people for crimes? Because the lawsuit that is against Justin, crime. The lawsuit that is against Christian, crime. Like those are crimes that you're being sued for. So not the people that's going next. Not the people that's going next. Oh girl. But yeah, so he want them to get him out of jail. That's what that word. It also says secured by the equity in Mr. Combs' residence located at 2 West Star Island in Miami, Florida. So he said y'all can have the house y'all rated. It's all y'all's. I don't even be there no more. The appraised value of the home is $48 million. The home is unencumbered. Ooh. Let me find out you already moved out. They said you was trying to sell both of your houses. Both of the houses that got raided, that he was trying to sell both of them. They said the house is unencumbered. So that means it's empty. It's empty. Ain't nothing in there. You can move right on in. The bank, the judge, whoever. So basically, he offering the judge his Star Mansion Island. He said, Judge, look at here. You let me out of here, I'll give you this house. Here you go. Here you go. The key. Hey, don't nobody lay there. You can move right on in, okay? And I removed all the cameras, all of that. Y'all took all the tapes. So I ain't got no reason for the camera girl. That's just what that word. And then it says, in anticipation of this bail hearing on August 20th, what? The home is unencumbered. Okay. Yeah, August 20th, 2024, Mr. Combs paid off the remaining mortgage of about $18 million. So that home could be used to secure a bond and be free of mortgage. So they saying on August 20th, I'm like, what? Because the bail here in August 20th, that passed that rule. What the are you talking about? But anyway, it says in anticipation. So they have not had a bail hearing yet. Okay. So the people that's going around lying, saying that P. Diddy got bailed out, you got to go to court first. Mm-hmm. You gotta go to court first. Okay. This is saying that he wants to get bailed out, not that he is out on bail. Okay. Nobody. He's not out on bail. Okay. You got to go to court first. Okay. So the people that's going around lying, don't even click their titles. It's clickbait because he is not out of jail. He is still in jail. This is just his offer in the indictment from his defense attorneys to state, hey, my client should be out of jail. Okay. He's willing to give $50 million for bail. Because I find that weird that they didn't even say what the bail, because he hasn't even been to bail court yet. He hasn't had court for bail yet. So this is how narcissistic and evil and weird he is because he's telling the judge, I'll give you $50 million and let me out. Because he could go to court and the judge be like, hey, we'll let you out on $3 million bail, and whatnot. He offering 50. Girl, you cannot make this up. You cannot make this up. He has not been offered a bail. So to hear the number 50 million, that is an offer. He's offering the courts $50 million to let him out of jail. I'm like, hello? Can you wait till you go to court? It could be way less than that. It could be higher than that. I mean, you never know. But since he knows what these charges, racketeering, that charge alone carries life. Okay, because that's what he's facing right now with these charges, 25 to life. Okay, the African charge, I think it's like 10 years. Yeah. So and then there's another charge that's 15, and then the racketeering is like life. He can get up to life with that. So he's basically facing 25 to life right now. Life, yes. Life, yes. Life, yes. He is facing life, absolutely. Why he's here instead of trying to find a motive. Why do what he do? I'll give you $50 million and let me out of here so my freedom can be a little piece closer. So that's what he's saying in this indictment, the response to the indictment. And I'm like, oh, they're like, hey, I'll give you 50 mil. Ho, ho, ho. He bought the rest or paid off the rest of that house, the Star Mansion house, because he had like plenty of mortgages out on it. And it was around like between 15 and 18 million that he had owed on the house still. So he paid that off to make sure that he owned the home so they could be a clean piece of collateral, a clean asset, you know. Gross. Gross. So he's making it so that the judge automatically say yes. You're not going to say no to 50 million, you know, and whatnot. It's just like, ew, like, ugh. Also, you can get out here and continue to freak off, because that's what he's having right now. He's having freak off withdrawals. Freak off withdrawals. He wanted to use those 1,000 bottles of lube. Okay, he needs to feel some type of baby oil on him as soon as possible. That's what that word. So he having freak off withdrawals, FO withdrawals is what he is having in number girls. So he trying to hurry up and get on up out of there. So it also says, secured by the equity of Mr. Combs' mother's home located at 450 Alton Road in Miami, Florida. He gave the mama house too. He said, look here, you can have her house too, because I don't even like her like that. I can't stand her. And she always trying to wear blonde. Like, she get on my nerves. Like, I'm tired of taking care of her. Like, she just won't die. Like, it's like, ugh. She just keep finding ways to live. I done put all type of, I gave her the same thing we gave Kim Porter, and she keep coming out the room. Like, I don't know what it's going to take. She just won't go. What's that word? She just won't pass. I don't know what it is. He don't know how old she is. He don't know how long she done been around, because she just won't go. He brought home, he took her to the airport during COVID, left her inside of the airport on purpose. She come out, everybody coughing but her. Dropped off at 3 different nursing homes of people that had to visit 4 people on ventilators. She ain't even sneeze when we got home. Went through 2-3 boxes of rat person. Just won't go. 2-3 bottles of bleach later. That's what that word. Antifreeze, all that. She just won't go. Nah. So he said that y'all can have her house because he done already ordered her casket any damn way. Gotta keep sending it back because she just won't go. Oh my goodness. She gonna outlive everybody. She done outlived the queen. They went to the same high school. Nah. What that word? That's what that word. So he said that y'all can have her house too. Yep. Both of them. They right down the street because you know he control everything and everyone. So yeah, y'all can have her house too. That's what they were. And then Mr. Combs will be restricted to the Southern District of Florida and Southern District of New York to attend court and meet his counsel and attend medical. In the end right there. So now y'all know he being charged in multiple places. He's not just being charged in New York, okay? He's being charged in Florida because again, it's African, so it's everywhere you do it at, right? It's everywhere you do it. So since it's everywhere you do it, he got to go to court in all of those places. And I'm a girl. That's what that word. So the line attorney talking about some. Look at here, we'll make sure that he gets to all the places. Now let him out. We'll get him to all the places he's supposed to go. Now take the keys to both of these places where all the crimes happen. Here you go. Because who gonna want to buy Star Mansion after Diddy? If I had the money, I wouldn't get it. No, not at all. No. No. Hell no. All them sex demons up in there. No, all that consent being taken away up in that house. Ain't a priest of free will inside of that house. Nobody buddy. Nobody buddy. Ain't anybody buying that house. Who? You see it's still on the market. It's going to stay there. Yeah. And who about to pay $50 million for a house of horrors? Like, who? Better build another one. That'd be about it. Burn everything down and get to sage it and then rebuild. Build a new house right there or something like that. Put a museum or something right there. I don't know. But nobody. Ain't nobody buying that. Check TV Shine. He about to get bailed out. He got to go to court first. Does he have bail court today? If he has bail court today, then that is possible. But he has to go to court first. They don't just release you out of jail because you offered him $50 million. It don't work like that. It don't work like that. He has to go to court first. What you question the shop for, friend? Shout out to the Fish King Pen. Who? What happened? Yes. His bail was not. That's what I thought. That's what I thought too. But my friend said, Shannon Sharp, what'd he say? Shannon Sharp for a shout out to the Fish King Pen. Y'all get over there and subscribe. I love him. Yes, police hit he has bail hearing today. He does. Okay. This is all new. I haven't really had time to do that. That's why I'm asking y'all, do he have bail court today? Because now then it will be possible for him to get out, if he has bail court. But what time? Because the courthouse about to close in a little piece of a minute. What time? I wonder. Oh, and I could see that. I could see that, friend. I could see that, him being interested in buying Star Mansion. I could definitely see that. Correct. Deny bail. I agree. Bail needs to be denied. Bail needs to be denied. Okay, Lady K says they are seeking no bail. Good, because he's every risk. He's every risk. Flight, walk, boat, car, a motorcycle. He every type of risk. And then it's not just him being a flight risk. The reason why I don't feel like he should get out of jail is also because he's just going to intimidate the witnesses. That's all he's going to do, because he's been doing it, because he's been known about this case. Been known it was going to happen. He even relocated to New York and whatnot to be closer, because he already knew that this indictment was happening, that the jury had been in court, looking at the charges, seeing if he's going to be charged. He's known all these things. So he's been contacting the witnesses, intimidating them. And I just think that that's the main reason he wants to get out of jail, because he is losing power a lot, because it's already a decent amount of witnesses, I feel, that have came forward. But now that he's being arrested and things like that, these victims get to see that there is a possibility of justice. Like, they may really arrest him and keep him in jail where he deserves to be. He done piled a black woman in the face. He done did all this stuff to Cassie. It's on video. God only knows what he did to Kim Porter. He's committed plenty of crimes that he needs to pay for. Multiple people that night when he took that weapon and powdered in that club and blamed it on Shine after Shine took the rap for him. Multiple people got hurt. One black woman was even piled in the face. Why should he not have to pay for that? It don't matter how long ago it was. A crime is a crime, and a victory is a victory. So even if you go to jail for something else, anybody that was hurt or harmed by him can take it as a justice for themselves. Because a lot of these things are out of the statute of limitation. So this is what the prosecution, the DA, have to focus on. are the things that are still tangible right now within the last 10, at least 15 years. Anything beyond that is it's just, where is the proof? Well, now you can have there's a lot of DNA and a lot of other things that are still available that can be used against him. A lot of stuff from the 90s is damaged or just gone. People don't own the items anymore, and on and so forth. So it would be really hard for those people. So the prosecution bringing these charges to the grand jury, they have to be smart about what they sat in front of them. Because they're not going to let a weak case against a figure as big as Sean Diddy Combs go into court. They're not. We need strong, tangible things that are going to stick and give us a reason, because the grand jury is making the court system and the police department and all of that liable for lawsuits and all of this stuff if he gets off. Because all of the wages and whatnot that he is about to lose and are about to, it won't be a good look. Like, he will have a really good lawsuit suing them for like $1 billion, if you will, having a network as big as his. So it is very important that this case, if they're going to bring it to court with somebody as big as someone like Diddy, we need something that is going to stick. So whatever you bring forward, make it good. And not only make it good, we need star witnesses. We need tangible people that can come in here and speak for themselves, not people that want to report but stay anonymous. What is that going to do in court? The jury needs to hear the person's story. They need to be moved by what the person is going to say. Reading out an anonymous person's letter or report against him does nothing. But a victim sitting there weeping and grieving what this man took them through is a whole nother story. It's a whole nother story. Okay? Star witnesses, Cassie, Don Richard, and somebody, because Don's been around for a very long time. Okay? And it's not just that, it's Diddy's team. It's turning those people, because a lot of those people are just as responsible as Diddy is. So it's about turning them against Diddy, and not in a negative way, because Diddy is the one who has them warped and brainwashed. So they have to remove the brainwashing that he's already done, reverse it basically, to let them know that, hey, at the end of the day, you were put in a really bad situation, a very bad predicament, and then you didn't have much protection and what was going on. That is what they're working on now. Because those are going to be star witnesses too, ones that need immunity, but can account for all of the things that have happened, or a lot of them. It can be like, yeah, that was happening. There was, trafficking. That they need those people. So the enablers in the situation are very essential within this time too. So the boat is about to get to rocking. That is another reason it's very important. It's imperative for Diddy to get out of jail as soon as possible, so that he can start snaking his way and maneuvering his way through these victims and reinstilling fear, and all of that into them, and turning and manipulating the story to make it seem like it was someone else's fault other than his, that I'm the good guy, it's this person and that person, blah, 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 and, on and so forth. So, yeah. I hope he does not get bailed out. I'm going to get into y'all super stickers in just a moment. Thank y'all so much for sending the super stickers and super chats. I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you so much. I'm going to thank you in just a moment here. I want to keep the content rocking. So Diddy's sons, Justin, Quincy, all of them was outside of court today, of course, on their way in to support their father, Sean P. Diddy Combs. How do y'all feel about these men, because all of them are grown, still supporting him, knowing all of the bad things that have happened? They're involved in them. Justin and Christian are mentioned in multiple lawsuits. The only person I feel that may be in the dark is Quincy. I think Quincy knows a lot of what's happened and what has went on. I just think Quincy chooses not to participate. And then another thing, Quincy could also be a quiet participator, someone that doesn't make it as obvious, like a Justin or a Christian who want to be the life of the party, who, have taken example from their narcissistic father and, look at me, yeah, I'm smashing chicks, this, blah, 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 blah. He could just be more so that was doing the same things, but just doing it more quietly, like doing it more so in the background and whatnot. So, I do think that it will be better for them. I know, and when something's going on with your family, it's important to show a united front, but this is not the time to be united. If Diddy really loved his children, I think that he would have kept them as far away from this as possible. Please hit the like. Please hit the like. Over 1,400 people in the building. Please hit the like. I appreciate you all being here. Please subscribe if you haven't already. We hit 138K today. Again, shout out to all of the new subbies. Thank you. I really appreciate all of y'all support. Thank you. I really do. I really, really, really do. Thank you. So I just think that if he truly cared about his children, he won't want them near this. He wouldn't be listing them on a bond. He would not have them showing up to court. I will want my kids as far away from this as possible. I won't want them nowhere near it. Not at all. This is how the narcissism, him not caring about anyone but himself. For some reason, he act like he running like a political race, or something like that, to where it is essential that you keep your family a strong unit, because that's important, knowing that a lot of families are going to be looking to you as to lead by example. So, and to show a great example of the one that, you are now leading yourself. So it's like, why in the would you involve your children in this at all? Why? They can support you from a distance. They can support you over the phone. They can support you if you get out, and whatnot. Oh, we know. Oh, we know. Shout out to Eric. She says, Diddy pleads not guilty, which is crazy. Well, we literally, that's like, again, the narcissism that just exudes from him. We have a literal tape of you pummeling Cassie in the hallway. You paid people to make sure set information did not get out. And it was not the only public action. Don had said on multiple occasions that he would hurt Cassie publicly, right in front of people, in front of a whole dinner table of guests, and all of that. He would put his hands on her and nobody would bat an eye nor move. They would allow it to happen. So that is just a small tidbit of what we saw. There are other many, many, many tapes that have been confiscated inside of this situation with the raids. So even, again, think back to the Robert Sylvester case. They played the tape. They showed it to Robert. Is that you? He says no. Why would we expect anything other when it comes to Sean Diddy, Narcissist Combs? Why would we expect anything else? He's definitely going to plead not guilty. He's still going to carry himself. Look how he's been carrying himself since these charges and allegations have been on the forefront. He's still out here partying, hanging out, doing this, doing that, blah, blah, blah. Like crazy. So to me, that is insane, to think, to know you are guilty and still do nothing. Like admit to nothing. Like, oh, I'm taking this to my grave still. How, when it's all up in front of you? Like this, there's a videotape. Memory goes to grave, not videotapes. What are you talking about? Like, what? Diddy, what? What are you talking about? I want to know the judge that's going to have this case, because I believe that they decide if it's going to be public or not. I hope that whatever judge is over it, lets it be a public situation. I think we all need to be tuned in to what is going on. We need to see this. It's important for even the other victims that aren't going to come forward, or just don't have the courage to do so. They need to see this too. That everyone, the revolution needs to be televised. We need to see what is going on with the situation. So again, this is just showing that he clearly doesn't care about his children at all. They are pawns, and everything that he has going on, it's not real. The love that he tries and acts like, you know, he has for them and all of that, that's trash. He truly doesn't care about them. And let's continue to show you proof that he does not care about his children, that he is just using them as a ploy. Oh, like his lawyers. Oh, he's a loving father. A loving father would have never done any of the things that he's done. A loving father wouldn't do these things. Diddy says he's no flight risk and begs to be released on 50 million bond. His children have also surrendered their passports, even the 1-year-old. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Now, we read the majority of this up here. Let's get into this part. The passports of the following family members who have already surrendered their passports to consul after the raids on Mr. Combs' homes: Janice Combs, which is his mom; Chance Combs, which is his daughter; Jesse and Delilah, which are the twins; and Love Combs. So the boys, none of the boys have given their passports, but shout out to over 1,600 people in the building. Please hit the like, please hit the like, please hit the like. So why are your children surrendering their passports? They have mothers. You know, unfortunately, the twins don't, but they have mothers. So what if their mothers wanted to go outside of the country, you know, or something like that? Why do they have to surrender their passports? Because to try to show he's doing anything he can. Yes, even the baby, even the 1-year-old baby. Take all their passports. Let me give you all the passports, because once all of them are relinquished, you know I'm not going anywhere. Is Russell Simmons over where he is with his whole family, or is he just over there himself? Yeah, so even if his other kids would have surrendered their passports, he's still left. He's still left. Correct. So either way it goes, the twins, I think, are 17. I think the twins are 17. So even if they surrender their passports, you are still a risk. You are most definitely still a flight risk, because we're not worried about the children. We're worried about you. The children aren't on trial. You are. The children aren't facing 25 to life. You are. So what does their passports have to do with anything? Make that make sense. Well, again, anything he can do to make it so that he can be freed. It has nothing has changed. Nothing. None. That's all he's saying. I still run everything. I'm still this, I'm still that. So again, he clearly does not care about his children. Let's just keep it froggy. He don't care about his kids. And it shows as of that, you know, they're putting them on the bail, saying that they're going to be the ones to bail them out, having them give their passports, again, why do they have to suffer because of you? Why do they have to suffer? Like, leave the kids out of it. Leave the kids alone. Like, just crazy. Here is the press conference. We're about to get into the press conference. I'm going to keep moving the show along because the things I think that we're going to talk about, I want to talk about. But before we do, hold on. I would recommend you stop talking to me. Okay, skip ad. Okay, we're going to pause this. We're going to get into it in just a second. But before we do, let's have a conversation about the other people that are risking going to jail. Shout out to Sonia. Thank you so much for being a member for over 3 years. Shout out to you. I love you as well. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being so supportive and being here. Shout out to you. Shout out to Sonia for gifting a membership. And also shout out to Sonia for gifting 5 more memberships. If y'all got memberships from Sonia, please thank her. Please, please, please. Thank you. We really appreciate it, Sonia. I really do. Shout out to Terry. Lord, I said Terry. My baby Tasha. My baby Tasha says, oh my gosh, Sean, I can't with you. To be a comedian, SCW, love you. I love you too. Thank you so much. I love you. Thank you for the super sticker. Shout out to Cole. Says, I knew I could count on you to make this funny. I love you and your commentary. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you and your super sticker. Thank you for your donation to the channel. Shout out to Victoria. She says he expects the children to play the game. He doesn't love anything. I agree. I think that he wants his children to not suffer, but at the same time, use them as a point to why he's such a good person, you know. You just enable the perk. I think you just tap the screen when the membership is in there, when you see it, or tap the top of the screen, and it should allow you to do that. So now let's keep going. So let's talk about the other people that are going to possibly be incarcerated. One of those people I definitely think is TD Jakes. Let's start with him. TD Jakes, the reason why I think he will and probably be served with something is because I believe that TD Jakes is on some of the tapes. Every celebrity, especially, that are on those tapes, you should be very, very worried. Mm-hmm. You should be very, very concerned about you and your likeliness and what all was going on during those parties. Because in some way, shape, or form, a lot of those videos are going to hit the surface. The internet is forever, okay? There's plenty of people out here, especially in places like Twitter, Reddit, and whatnot, that hack systems and get things. Those tapes will be out. So you should be very, 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 very worried. Yes, you should be petrified of those tapes getting out. And I definitely believe that, have you ever been swallowed? I definitely think he's on there swallow. Wink. I definitely think so. And not only that, again, Cassie listed in her lawsuit, one of the main reasons they're taking these charges forward is that TD Jakes would counsel her and Diddy to stay in a relationship. When they would break up, TD Jakes would go and get Cassie at times and also have conversations with her and coach her into going back to Diddy when she would leave him. Okay. And not only that, I feel like TD Jakes was doing those type of favors because he is just as guilty. He is. He's done a lot of these things with Diddy. He's been to a lot of Diddy parties. Diddy has come to his house and thrown him dinners, and Diddy's come to his, or he's come to Diddy's, and Diddy's done the same thing. TD Jakes was also listed in Lil Rod's lawsuit as being one of the people that was going to help Diddy retain his image and also help him repair his image. Please hit the like. Please hit the like. Over 1,800 people in the building. Please hit the like and subscribe if you haven't already. So I definitely think that TD Jakes will be one of the people that go to jail or will take a deal so that they don't have to get, charges brought up on them for doing a lot of the same things and also helping with the trafficking and stuff like that. Another person, Stevie J. I definitely think Stevie J is going to be brought up on some type of charges as one of the enablers because I believe that Stevie J is on a lot of those tapes. Stevie J has been being controlled and manipulated by Diddy since the 90s, okay? He came around during when Biggie was alive. So he's been around Diddy for umpteen years, since the 90s. So I do believe that they will be bringing Stevie J in. Not only that, I believe other people like even Faith Evans. Diddy controls everything and everyone around him. It's no coincidence that Stevie married Faith Evans. Faith Evans has always been someone in the Bad Boy camp, working for Sean Combs, going on every single Bad Boy tour that he did, even in the recent few years or 10 years that he took Bad Boy on tour and whatnot. She's always on the tour and whatnot. So I definitely feel that she was down for a lot of the stuff that was going on. Also hearing past interviews with Faith Evans, she speaks of how she's had a very proactive sexual life and being with and around Sean Diddy Combs. I feel like she participated in a lot of the stuff that went on. And I think that that's why a lot of these women like Mary J. Blige, Lil' Kim, why they are very tight-lipped when it comes to Diddy's imagery, because they have done a lot of things that they shouldn't have done with and around him themselves. They are guilty parties in these situations. It's just how I feel. I do. We clearly know that Lil' Kim has had issue with Diddy. Like when she went to jail, she was upset that she barely got a letter. She didn't ever get a letter from him. He didn't hit her books. He didn't contact her. He didn't do any of that, while she was incarcerated, and she's expressed this before. So clearly she has had issue with him, but she has never been able to truly state how she feels because of, again, the things that he holds and dangles, over her head. Pushing back to the Dawn lawsuit, Dawn said that she was at these illegal parties and she would go barricade herself into bedrooms and stuff so that she didn't have to do any of the illegal things that were going on. Seeing those girls, they're sedated, those young women underage, young men underage, and whatnot. She didn't want to partake in any of those things, so she would go and hide. I believe that people like Lil' Kim, Mary J. Blige, Faith Evans, I believe that they have partaken in a lot of these things, and it's kind of hard for them not to do it when they're being, the same thing happening to the young girls are happening to them, them being ugged, and whatnot, and other people done had their way with them, and things like that. So I definitely feel that
you have the power to spot a stroke, but warning.
I feel like Dawn's lawsuit is new to us, but old to her. I think that her and her team, rather lawyers and whatnot, have been not only working with Homeland Security, but again, a long time coming. I don't think that this lawsuit is, just out of the blue, I'm going to file a lawsuit. No, I think at least within like the last year or so, Dawn and her team, because it's a lot of information to get together. Again, the things that you are saying, a lot of the things, you have to prove something. You can't just talk. So Dawn, I believe, has evidence. I believe Dawn has submitted certain things into not only just the lawsuit, but into the courts with criminal things happening to her, like the receipts that she has about being locked in the vehicle and her father having to come and rescue her, and get her out of the situation, stuff like that. Those things are criminal. Now, you cannot hold someone against their will at all whatsoever. So you cannot go and lock her in a vehicle in the freezing cold and tell her that she cannot go anywhere. That is literally a crime. That is a crime. Doing that, 100%. That's a crime. So I don't think that this is, just throwing it in there at the last minute. I think it was a long time coming. I definitely do. Oh, shout out to That Surprise Witness. I was in your live earlier. Shout out to you and Down the Rabbit. I was watching y'all. I was in the dentist though, listening to you guys on my headphones. So shout out to That Surprise Witness. Oh my God, I love you. Shout out to her. Y'all get over there and subscribe. I adore her. And shout out to Down the Rabbit Hole News as well. She was over there with her, and y'all get the thing. Gave a great show, a lot of great information. So shout out to you guys. Shout out to you. Shout out to That Surprise Witness. Love her. Aubrey has already been talking, and she is definitely a character. A character. That's a deep story. But I will also say this when it comes, because I know a lot of people are wondering too, like, okay, well, what about all the stuff from the 90s? Why haven't a lot of people from the 90s, or the charges from the 90s, coming into these charges that are being brought up today? Like, why can't we get RICO on those too? I think the reason why is because of the amount of energy of the people of now that are coming forward. They could have been brought a case up on him, but when you have witnesses that have been intimidated, people that are extremely fearful of coming forward and saying a word, you have shown them firearms and other things and threatened them in ways that really has them shook. They didn't come forward. So there was no star witness. Like, who was going to be the person to carry the torch and be like, this is what went on with me, this happened to me, blah, blah, blah. So with it being so long since that have happened, a lot of the statute of limitations are up on a lot of those crimes, right? So the Adult Survivor Act that a lot of states have adopted to let people get financial compensation from what their accuser or abuser have done to them also opened a gateway for a lot of RICO charges, because this is how it happened with Diddy. The Adult Survivor Act is what allowed Cassie to be able to sue him for the crimes that he committed against her. So again, what people like, oh, this was a money grab, Cassie just grab the money and be quiet. No, it's literally what the Adult Act allows: a lawsuit. Financial compensation. That is what it's for. The Adult Survivor Act is not to bring charges up against somebody that had done something to you years ago. No, but it can open up the door for RICO charges to be on that person, because either way it goes, a lawsuit does not protect anyone from criminal activity. It does not protect them from it. So even with Cassie doing the lawsuit and settling and signing, I'm sure, an ironclad NDA on not speaking on Diddy publicly, that does not protect him from the court system. It does not. Okay. And again, some of these victims, I believe, because I know that there's at least 5 witnesses that they have that will be testifying, from what it seems, against Diddy. Some of those cases are from like the last 5 years, 2 years. You know, all of these cases aren't from like the 90s or the early 2000s. No, he has been doing this for a very long time. So now this allows any other victim that has been hurt, especially within the years of a statute of limitation, depending on what state you're in, it allows them to come forward too. So if he did something to you last year or the year before that, or 3, 4 years ago, 5, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, the statute of limitations protects you, so you can come forward. You can file charges. But unfortunately, the women that were hurt and harmed and whatnot in the 90s by this man, it's, kind of, the doors are closed. This is why this is important, for the people of now to come forward and get justice, because it's justice for everybody. It's not just justice for the people that something has happened to within the last 20 years, 10 years. No, it's for whenever it happened to you. This is justice for you too. So yeah, I think that that's why this is more so of a powerful statement now, and why it's happening now, because of the Adult Survivor Act. If the Adult Survivor Act did not come about, this wouldn't be happening right now. This would not be happening. That's how I feel. If you check it out, that's why Cassie sued. That's what, in New York, the Adult Survivor Act, and you only had a year, to do so. So, yeah, I definitely think that. And then also the other people to be arrested, Usher is high on the list. Usher is high on the list. Usher has been, to me, Usher started off as a victim. But once you start to abuse or assist in what's going on with the situation, then you are no longer a victim. You are now the predator. So in my eyes, I believe Usher is very, very, very high on the totem pole. Very high. Usher has partaken in so many Diddy parties. Usher was live on Howard Stern and admitted out of his own mouth that he would not allow any of his children to party with Diddy. If he's doing legal things, what's the problem? What's the problem? And he's not talking about like my minor children. He's talking about like at all. Like no age do I want my kids at a Diddy party. He said that he would not have sent his children.
Smart nutrition can improve our health and weekly.
You can be quietly, but thanks though. So yeah, so I believe that if they could turn Usher, he would be a stronger witness than Cassie. Usher, to me, would be the true star witness. Cassie's been around since about 2007, 2008, but Usher has been around since like 94? Something like that. 94, 95. I don't remember exact date he came around him, but he would truly, because he can attest to everything. He was around for everything, even the Kim Porter debacle. He was around for everything. So to me, there would be no stronger witness than Usher. Usher, 100%. 100%. How about Justin Bieber? I feel that Diddy has a powerful way of manipulating people, right? So I feel like he super manipulated Justin Bieber. I think that he has Justin Bieber so manipulated that Justin feels that whatever happened to him wasn't because of Diddy. I don't feel like he blames him. I don't. And I think another reason why he doesn't blame him is because whatever happened to Justin Bieber, I don't think he was conscious for it. Mm-mm. I don't think he was conscious for it. A lot of people that have sued Diddy do not necessarily remember what happened to them. Yeah. Mm. I don't believe that Justin truly knows what happened. I think he has a good idea of what happened to him, but I don't think he knows. Because again, everybody at the party is everyone, not just some people, everybody. Everybody's inhibitions are up because that's how he gets to be bilingual. That's how he gets to be bisexual. If everybody's defenses are down. And narcotics like X is one of the main ones that will truly have a person lose control. And not in a negative way, it's just more so of you're really passive from what I gather from it. I've never tried it, but you're really passive. So a lot of things that you would normally say no to or wouldn't necessarily be interested in, your guard's down. Your guard's down completely. So there really is no, at that point in time. And I think it does get to the point to where a lot of people lose consciousness, So losing consciousness, you don't really know what happened to you. You don't know why and what. You can only assume, or someone tells you, someone that was conscious. And so I'd be like, yeah, you ... People walking up to you that slept with you and they're telling you, it's like, what? Like, I did what with you? So Usher would be a huge testimony. Like, he would bring the house down if Usher came forward and told his story. And I think a lot of these celebrities, it's hard. I look at them like as slight monsters, but I don't look at them as full monsters because I think a lot of these celebrities were intimidated and still are. Diddy had the type of power for over 20 years to literally end careers. Like 100%. Take your career away from you. No one contacts you. All the Hollywood who's want nothing to do with you. Diddy has that power. He does. And not only that, Diddy also has the power to harm you. If he's taken out heavyweights like Tupac Shakur and get away with it, take out Biggie Smalls and get away with it, who is the Usher? Diddy bragging at dinner tables and conference tables about how he had Pac taken out and nobody did anything about it, and I'm still here. He bragging about it. Why would these people feel like they matter? So they have many reasons of being afraid. And your dream is your dream. I think it's easy to judge on the outside looking in, to be like, I would rather risk my career and not have a career rather than do all of that stuff. You don't know what you would do until you're in that situation. You don't know. I can say right now till the cows come home that I wouldn't have done none of that. I truly don't know what I would have done. I've never been faced with it. So I don't know how I'm going to react until the things that I do love, are being threatened to be removed and all of that. I don't know what decisions I'll make because I'll do anything for my children. I'll do anything for them, So who knows what type of way a person's back is being pushed against the wall. This is why I think Cassie avoided having children by Diddy, because he sees how he uses the children as ammunition. How he uses them as pawns. They aren't like my babies. He don't look at them that way. No, they're items to dangle over people that truly love them head. 100%. You don't think that Kim Porter leaving him telling her, I'll take the kids, you'll never see those kids again? She loved her children. You don't think he was throwing Quincy in there too? You'll never see Quincy again either? You don't think that Diddy had the power to make it so that if Kim Porter was alive to this day, that he couldn't remove Quincy from her? Quincy's father done almost died multiple times. Quincy, he's still Team Diddy. He all at the courthouse, back and forth for the. He definitely had the power to keep Quincy away from her. Just like he had even more power to keep his biological children away from her. So it's not as just easy as just walking out of the door. That's why Cassie got away, no children, and Kim didn't. Get rid of this for now. And Kim didn't because Kim had children by him. So it was a different type of, you ain't going nowhere. You can't leave. It's a different type of prison. It's not the same prison. Cassie got out of there. And she could, because all she had to worry about was herself. You know? She didn't have to worry about no children and her children still having to be around this person and see this person. She didn't have to worry about none of that stuff. She didn't have to worry about it. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of factors that are playing into these situations, but let's get into the press conference. Again, earlier, like I told y'all before the press conference even played, that they are only going to pretty much repeat a lot of stuff that's inside of the indictment. We're not going to get much more, more information than that. So, hold on, oops, we pause this, pull this up real quick. We can go over this real quick. Hold on a second. Alrighty.
Today, I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution. The indictment alleges that between at least 2008 and the present, Combs abused, threatened, and coerced victims to fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct.
He absolutely did. Shout out to Love Wisdom. Thank you so much for the super sticker, sweetheart. Thank you, thank you, thank you. She says, thank you for covering this. Of course. And we're going to cover every minute of this. Thank you so much. Thank you for the super sticker. I really appreciate it. Shout out to Diane for becoming a new member. Shout out to R for the super sticker. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And shout out to Zell Ayers for the for becoming a member as well. And I'm also going to shout out Danielle for sending a Cash App. Thank you so much, Danielle. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
As alleged in the indictment, to carry out this conduct, Sean Combs led and participated in a racketeering conspiracy that used the business empire he controlled to carry out criminal activity. Including sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and the obstruction of justice.
As well.
Let me say a little bit more about the charges.
Hurry up.
The indictment alleges that Combs abused and exploited women and other people for years and in a variety of ways. As alleged, Combs used force, threats of force, and coercion to cause victims to engage in extended sexual performances with male commercial sex workers, some of whom he transported or caused to be transported over state lines. Combs allegedly planned and controlled the sex performances.
Shout out to the over 2K in the building. Please hit the like, please hit the like, please hit the like, 2.1K in the building.
Which he called freak-offs. And he often electronically recorded them. The freak-offs sometimes lasted days at a time, involved multiple commercial sex workers, and often involved a variety of narcotics, such as ketamine, ecstasy, and GHB, which Combs distributed to the victims to keep them obedient and compliant.
Correct. So again, how can we literally be angry with these people when they did not have the power to control anything that is going on? Imagine sitting there drinking something, and then within minutes, you are all of a sudden pretty much like comatose. So this is being compliant, just, just being there. So when people come up to you, touching you and stuff, like, you can see it, but it's like you can't do anything about it, and then being on the, and whatnot, you don't necessarily want to do anything about it because you're not even in your right mind. You're in like la la land, like you're loopy and all of that. You're like, you're going on a trip, and whatnot. And during that trip, there are things happening to you, but you're being compliant because you don't have any other choice You literally don't have any other choice. So how can I be angry with these people, and not just civilians, random people that they were bringing there for these FOs, also celebrities. Also celebrities too. They went through these things too. I look at Lil' Kim and Faith Evans and all of them to a certain degree. They are victims, in a certain degree. But then when you start participating willingly in these things, whether you are doing it out of fear or not, you are. I mean, because how do you apologize to someone for that? How do you apologize to someone underage, and whatnot, that you've done things to and with? I'm sorry that I was like, how do you apologize for that? Like, you can't. You can't. It's not an excuse when you are willingly doing these things. You don't have to go to these parties. You don't. I would rather get yelled at because I'm not there versus to being there around a bunch of stuff that I don't want anything to do with. Even if he invited me to the party, I would lie. I'd be like, yeah, I'm coming. Yep, I'll be there, da 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 da. And then he called me, I'll make up something. Oh, my son, this happened to my kid, or this happened, da 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 da. Or I'm sending the chopper to come and get you right now. I'm not there no more. So tell the chopper to meet me in Los Angeles. All right, I had to meet you in Los Angeles. I'll go to New York. Like, avoid it. Like, do everything you can to avoid it. And that's what that word. Yeah, I would definitely avoid it by any means necessary. Any means.
As alleged, when Combs didn't get his way, he was violent, and he subjected victims to physical, emotional, and verbal abuse so that they would participate in the freak-offs, and that Combs hit, kicked, threw objects at, and dragged victims, at times by their hair.
Correct.
On one occasion in March of 2016, that conduct was captured on video and later reported in the media. Specifically, Combs kicked, dragged, and threw a vase at a victim in a Los Angeles hotel when the victim was attempting to flee. As alleged, these assaults often resulted in injuries to the victims, which took days or weeks to heal. In addition to the violence, the indictment alleges that Combs threatened and coerced victims to get them to participate in the freak-offs. He used the embarrassing and sensitive recordings he made of the freak-offs as collateral against the victims.
And that is very so much true. That abuses like that, having that type of power over you. And also, this is his way of manipulating a lot of people in the industry. Everybody on Bad Boy. I want people to realize this did not just start happening. I'm sure those tapes date back all the way to the 90s and on and so forth, until, now. Type of situation. So if you want your artist obedient, if you want your artist to listen to you, because you got to think about all of the people that have never came forward about Diddy, but clearly they all have stories, right? And so with all of these things happening, you don't think he was doing it deliberately? That's deliberate. Let me get Mary J. Blige and Faith Evans and Danity Kane and Date 26 and Biggie and this person and that person, forcing them in rooms to party, and they're thinking that they just party, and then the lights and stuff dim go out, they get improved and all of this stuff. He got them all on recording, doing things that they wouldn't normally do, or things that they may be embarrassed of because they would normally do, and just engaging in acts that they normally wouldn't. That's a recipe for intimidation. Because if you tell Faith Evans to get in the studio and she's talking about, I'm thinking about leaving Bad Boy, all of that stuff. Okay, well, let me show you this blackmail tape that I got here. How you gonna leave Bad Boy doing all this? You trying to let this tape get out there? Why wouldn't she be like, oh my God? Again, a lot of these people are unconscious. They have no idea what they've done, how it happened, nothing. So he showed Faith Evans a tape of her sleeping with Jodeci, the group. I'm just naming examples, not real examples, but just, saying possibilities. If Jodeci or 112 done ran a train on her while she's unconscious, she has no idea. No different than one of the women, I believe her name was Tiffany, that sued. She said that Diddy has sent her tape to what was his name, Devon of Jodeci. Mm-hmm. And I'm getting tea that Diddy's bail was denied. So the people that are going around saying, again, I'm going to check myself and then I'll come back and we'll do a lot about that too. But from what I see, his bail was denied, as it should be. As it should be. So yeah, Tiffany, the woman that sued from the 90s that went to the same college that he did, that was a video model in one of his videos, she said that Devon from Jodeci sent her having, and she had no idea. Like, she looking at the video like, that's me? Like, oh my, I did that? Crazy. That is insane. That, that happened, and it's like, what do you, I couldn't imagine what I would do. Somebody sent me a video of me and I had no idea that it even took place. I'm just like, I'm like, that's a doppelganger. That is not me. Like, I would not do that, especially with that person. Not like, no, like I wouldn't have never done, anything like that. And that is how it is, And then shout out to Judah. She says the 1,000 baby bottles of baby oil and lubricant took me out. So, I mean, now I know people may think of that like, oh, it was just all for certain ways of lubing up that a person. No. Diddy liked everybody being covered in baby oil. So Cassie also stated that inside of the lawsuit. She said that Diddy made her and the SEX worker from basically head to toe have on baby oil. Have on baby oil, 100%. So that's why he needed so many bottles, because it wasn't just the models. Everybody had to be baby oiled down at the freak offs and all of that stuff. But why? I think it's just maybe the glistening skin or something. Maybe that's like one of the things that gets his like engine revving. Seeing bodies like glistening, like shiny, ritualistic, statuesque, like demigod, higher beings, I don't know. It definitely gives sadistic, whatever it is. But I think that's what he likes. I think it's more so like a ritual, or rituals that he may have been a part of. That's what it gives.
And the indictment alleges that he maintained control over the victims in several ways, including by giving them drugs, by giving and threatening to take away financial support or housing, by promising them career opportunities, by monitoring their whereabouts, and even by dictating their physical appearance. Because of all of this, the indictment alleges that the victims did not believe they could
Shut up. It's in the indictment that his team would clean up everything left behind. So whether it was in a hotel or whether it was in one of the mansions that he has, but his team would clean it up. They would get rid of all of the evidence that anything was that ever partook, 100%.
refuse Combs without risking their security or facing more abuse.
And then another thing about the the 1,000 baby oil bottles and lube. Again, the freak offs will go on for days, sometimes even a week. So he would keep getting and sedating the victims for days and making the ex-workers perform over and over and over. And I know people think about that like, well, how could you do that? Well, when you're on drugs, they can keep you up for days. So he had to keep them on the same things that he was on so that they could stay up, because, he'd be up 3-4 days, just a party and maybe sleep for like an hour, sleep for like 20 minutes. And then he right back raging, drinking, right back at it, raging. That's why, the IV fluids and whatnot, the banana bags, if you will, came in use. Why they were so necessary, because they were so drained and dehydrated that's why it sounds like rituals, but like back in the days, back in the days when they would just get together and have a whole bunch of orgies and, and all of that stuff, and worship gods and, have, sex magic, and all of that. I'm telling you, like, if you really do your research, starting off with spirit cookings, and then after doing the spirit cookings, start doing the, ritualistic orgies. Orgies are in pretty much every religion. There's some mention of that. And again, with a bunch of paganism, people that, they believe in all of that. We may not believe in it, but they do. Just like I may believe in God, but you may not. It doesn't make it any less real or less true. So, yeah, I think that and then for going on for days gives ritualistic, because with, back in the day, like rituals and how they would do, it would take days. Like you hear stories about them doing whatever they were doing, whether they were the Indians, the natives were praying for rain or doing ritualistic dances for the crops to grow, and whatever. They would do it for days. Births. When for fertility, they would do it for days. Like it was not. And it's also like animalistic, because animals do the same thing. Like when a lion goes to mate, when it's time, when a lioness is in heat, when she gets with a male lioness, they'll do it for days. They'll keep going and going and going and going it just over and 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 over again. Sometimes it could be 2-3 days long, and then when they're done, that's how the lioness knows pretty much like for sure that she's pregnant, because then she'll go and, pretty much hunt until it's time for her to give birth to her babies, so it's kind of like that too. It reminds me of like animals, because that's what animals do, when certain animals, when they get together, they'll mate, for a long time. And I think that, Diddy does not look at himself again as human. He looks at himself as like above, like the hierarchy on the food chain. And in the jungle, the lions are pretty much like up there, on the hierarchy, when it comes to, what eats what, although like lions are fearful of like elephants, and stuff like that, but it won't stop them from hunting one. They'll still try to hunt one. Not some lions are scared of elephants. Not all lions are scared. They eat elephant young all the time. So you touch the mama baby, that the mama gonna get you, and lions take out their young all the time, like male lions. Yeah, they'll end up in with the quickness. And that's how I feel like he feel about his own kids. Like he'll end one of those kids in the quickness. If somebody came and told him, if you sacrifice this kid, we'll let you out right now, he'll do it. No questions asked. He wouldn't even ask which one. He'll just be like, go ahead. Take whichever one you want. That is how, somebody like him is. And I'm glad they did not bail, because yeah, that he would ruin this case if y'all let him right out.
Use. The indictment also alleges other acts of violence undertaken by Combs and others, including violence against witnesses to his abuse, kidnapping, and arson. The indictment alleges that on more than one occasion, Combs carried or brandished firearms to intimidate and threaten victims and witnesses. Now, Combs did not do this all on his own. As I mentioned, Combs has been charged with RICO conspiracy. He used his business and employees of that business and other close associates to get his way. Those individuals allegedly included high-ranking supervisors in the business, personal assistants, security staff, and household staff. The indictment alleges that those individuals facilitated the freak-offs. They booked the hotel rooms and stocked them with the supplies, including drugs, baby oil, personal lubricant, extra linens, and lighting. When the hotel rooms got damaged, they helped clean it up.
So again, when people are saying like, oh, well, who was taking care of this? And when all of that stuff was going down, all of the, this and the that, his staff, they were taking care of all of that. They're making sure that he never got charged with anything. And I'm sure it was some crazy stuff going down, some humiliating things. I also want people to open their mind. Open your mind. Do you just think sex is on those tapes? Think about it. See, a lot of people thought the same thing with Robert Sylvester. And then when the tapes were actually shown and displayed in court, the people that didn't see the tape, the bootlegs that were put out of it, because you can't legally sell minors doing anything. So when the bootleg came out, he was actually urinating on the victims and in their mouths and, you know, in other places, humiliating them. You could tell by how the women reacted to, and I was a teenager watching all this, you could tell by how the women reacted that they were not interested or into what he was doing. You could, that they had an obvious, it was obvious that they were not interested. They just wanted to please him within that moment. So basically whatever he says goes, you know, type of situation. So imagine Kim Porter's friend came forward and said that Diddy used to make Kim Porter, allegedly, suck on Cassie's or lick Cassie's used menstrual cycle wear, hardware, tampons, that he would make her lick it. Rituals. Again, you don't think, who knows what's on those tapes? Who knows? Who knows? And another thing I want to point out, when I'm saying that he's having FO withdrawals, he is. If you stop smoking, what are you going to do? Have withdrawals. You're going to fiend for it, right? You stop drinking liquor. You stop eating carbs. You stop eating sugar. Anything that you consistently do, and then you just stop, you're going to long for it. You're going to long for it. So him being in jail right now, like sober and literally having to sit there and deal with what's going on, he can't take it. He can't take it. He is addicted to FOs and all of that stuff. This is part of his daily rituals, part of his daily functions. How he starts his day, how he ends his day. Like, we all started and ended a certain way. We do. You be taken out of your house, you go stay at a hotel for a few days or something. Yeah, it's gonna be cool and everything, but eventually you're gonna start to miss your house. You're gonna miss your bed. You're gonna miss a lot of stuff about being home, to where it's going to make you, when you do go home, you're like, oh, home, you know, to where you actually miss it, you know, to where you walk in just like, oh, I'm so glad. Yeah. It's like, oh, like you can breathe a sigh of relief because it's part of your ritual. You missed it. You're addicted to it. You know, it's your home. You know. If you sleep on the floor at someone's house and you normally used to sleeping on a bed, that's going to make you anxious to get back to your bed. Is what that's going to do. So again, he needs freak offs. He is addicted to them. He do it every single day, days long. You know, he'll do it. So you think that it's just like, he's not worried about I'm sure, his business relations and whatnot. He's more concerned about doing drugs. And because he never stopped doing drugs. He was still an addict, very so much. But rich people don't feel like addicts because they can afford it. See, a rich person will not admit to being an addict because they feel like they can afford it. They feel like the word addict, you know, equals somebody on the streets that is homeless, ain't got nowhere to go, panhandling with a sign, begging for money. They're like, you know, since I'm not like that, you know, or a person would feel like, well, I'm not an alcoholic because when I get drunk, I don't, you know, knock things over and get into fights with people and all of that stuff. I'm not an alcoholic because you don't act a certain way, but you do exactly what alcoholics do, which is drink every single day, all the time. But, you know, you're still an alcoholic. You just don't react that way. And then it's the same thing with drugs. Just because you can afford to do it in abundance does not mean that you are not an addict. So they feel like, I'm so rich, I can just stop buying it whenever I want to, but I buy because it's lit. I buy because it's fun. It makes things. No, you're addicted. You can't do something every single day that's highly addictive. Every narcotic is highly addictive. Every single last one of them. There is no non-addictive narcotic, weirdo. So to sit there and do narcotic, I mean, you are addicted. You can't function without it. So him being in jail right now, he's having all type of withdrawals. All type of withdrawals. Rich people are just functioning addicts. That's it. That's it. You're an addict. You're just functioning. You know, that's all. Look at Wendy Williams. Clearly is an addict. She was just functioning because everyone was doing everything for her. She had a team of people to get her together. If it took for Wendy Williams to do makeup, wardrobe, all of that stuff and get ready while being an addict, she would have went on that stage looking a mess. She would have went on that stage looking a mess. And it's no different than Diddy. If he was truly responsible for like taking care of him, making sure his clothes, this and that, if he was truly responsible for it, he would look a mess. He would. But again, you're rich. So you have all of these people around you doing it for you.
They arranged for victims and commercial sex workers to travel for the freak-offs, and they delivered large quantities of cash to Combs to pay for the commercial sex workers. The indictment also alleges that they helped Combs cover up his crimes. During the March 2016 incident at the LA hotel that I mentioned earlier, a member of the hotel security staff intervened, and Combs attempted to bribe the staff member with a stack of cash to make sure that what happened was kept quiet. And as the indictment alleges, in late 2023, after public allegations were made about Combs's crimes, he and others pressured witnesses and victims to stay silent, including by making phone calls to witnesses and victims and giving them a false narrative of what they had experienced. And as alleged, Combs used others.
Meaning victims were calling him, telling him like, hey, people said that when I was at your party, ... happened to me, this person, and he lied. No, didn't that happen to you? You was cool, you fell asleep, you know, blah, blah, blah. But then they got other people telling them like, yeah, no, this person slept with you, this person slept with you, you slept with this person, you was in a bathroom with this one, we found you outside by the pool, you know, later on that, like, yeah. So that's one of the examples, you know, to use, you know, when they're saying that he was manipulating the story and changing the story, also placing the blame onto other people, being like, well, I didn't bring you to the party. You came to the party with this person. I don't know what you went after that, you know, blah, 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 when there's a whole nother story.
To help conceal his abuse by monitoring and preventing victims from leaving a location in order to hide their injuries, or by locating and contacting a victim who had attempted to flee. As part of this investigation, in March of this year, special agents from HSI
and fleeing victims, a lot of these victims are allegedly underage girls, okay? Underage girls and underage boys, meaning when he would fly them in from other countries, they will wake up so distorted, they have no idea where they are. Imagine waking up having no idea where you are. No idea. Your whole body done been moved to another. You went to sleep on a boat and you wake up inside of a house or inside of a hotel. Your instinct is going to be to run. Let me get the fuck out of here. Like, what is going on? Like, what, girl? And a lot of these kids and girls and boys can speak English. You know, a lot of them are from different countries. Like, they're not from here. So when they would try to, you know, like escape and run, basically, because they don't know what's going on, who these people are, you know, or anything like that, they will go and retrieve them. And then bringing them back again, you are holding them against their will. You have brought them over country lines, on state line, internationally, done brought them over here just to load them back up and fly them back to where they came from, and then just open up the airplane door and just let them all out. And they done being used and abused, all type of stuff. But really don't know what happened. And then close the door when the last one get out, and then just fly off. Get clearance and get back in the and turn the plane around and fly back. So this is a lot of the stuff that was happening. Dawn said herself, and so did LaRod and Cassie, that a lot of the underage people, like the Blasians, the Black and Asian kids, and the Latin and Asian kids, because he likes mixed. He likes them to look exotic, if you will, were from different countries and were not of age. A lot of them can speak a lick of English, you know, or anything. But what does it matter when they're not here to talk? You don't have to worry about dialect and anything like that when you are about to drag them to sleep. So y'all like be conscious no way. So it don't matter what they speak. It don't matter. Just bring them over here, you know. And for days, these kids, you know, younger teenage girls, teenage boys, would be a part of freak-offs for days. And the reason why they would use them are because young means purity. Okay? Purity. So the younger ones are going to be way more pure than a girl that's in her 20s or 30s or anything like that. Like, they got like bodies, you know, like on them, meaning, you know, they've had multiple partners and stuff like that. A lot of them are virgins, never done anything before in their lives. The pure, the better. So that's what he would send his team out there to look for. Pure. Purity. Innocence means a lot in Satanism and, you know, all of that. Innocence means a lot. Like, innocence is everything. Is everything. The more innocent a situation, the more you can take something that's innocent and turn it into something else, like a good girl gone bad, a good boy gone bad, the better. You know, turning light into darkness, removing the light is what, you know, they do. That's why they call themselves the elite, you know, and things of that nature. And youth is everything. So the younger, the better. So, and then you got to also think about it too. If you're looking at a young lady, or I'm not gonna say that, you're looking at a male or a female, and you can clearly see that they're of age, that they're not of age. It's like kind of going to like a middle school, you know, or something like that. Now, some of the kids may look a little older, but overall, you know that these are like kids, you know, like these are clearly like teenage kids, right? Imagine going to a party with all of these celebrities and adults, but seeing a bunch of like middle schoolers and like junior high school kids, like ones that are basically not even developed or just developing, you know, and whatnot. It's just like, but they mix them in with the adult girls. So it's not just underage people there. No, it's a mixture, but they mixed it on purpose to twist people's mind. Because in their mind, if you keep seeing grown girls, you're not going to question the other ones. You're not going to worry about it. It's kind of like going into the club. You go into the club 21 plus, why are you looking? You don't need to see no ID. You just going to have at it. You just going to have at it. You know, because you feel like everybody in here legal. I'm legal. So I'm assuming everybody else in here is too. You know, not thinking that there could be, you know, high school kids that snuck in here, fake IDs, you know, stuff like that. Not even thinking about it that way, just assuming, you know, that everybody's grown. And again, at a Diddy party, who carding who? Who getting carded? Carded for what? They're not carding nobody there. So, yeah. So, of course, yes, the adult girls were like decoys. Correct. And the same thing with the men. The adult men were decoys for the other, because it wasn't just young women, men too. It was girls and boys. It wasn't just, you know, girls. It was both, a plethora. This is why he was always traveling. Another reason he always travels with Justin and Christian, because then it makes it look like it's their entourage. Also with his daughters, Delilah and what's her name, them traveling with the young girls and stuff. Like you see him getting on the yacht or the planes and whatnot, private planes. Even the day he got popped when he was about to go on vacation, his daughters had girls with her. It was with them. It was not just Delilah and no. It was like 3 girls that were with them. But why would you question it if, you know, oh, Diddy's just going on vacation with his daughters and he's bringing her friends along too. So, parents bring, you know, kids, friends on vacations with them too. You know, keep them company, keep them busy, you know, give them something to do so they're not getting bored so quickly. You know, they got some, you know, so he uses his children as decoys as well. That's why Justin and Christian have lawsuits on them as well and being listed in lawsuits, because they are recruiters themselves. Justin at his college, you know, and all of that. Christian, it's deep. Even using his own children as decoys, 100%. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes, absolutely. But we will be back. I have to go get my baby from school. We'll finish this when I get back. Thank you all for being here. Hold on, shout out these super stickers, the ones that I missed. Shout out to Sonia. Thank you so much for the super stickers, Sonia. Thank you. And thank you, Sonia, for gifting a membership. Shout out to Tenderoni for becoming a member. Shout out to Embodied for becoming a member. And shout out to, is it Zaharis? I hope I'm saying that right. Shout out to all of you. And thank you all so much for being here. Over 2,400 people we had in the building. I love you all. Please subscribe, please subscribe, please subscribe. We will be back Okay, there's much more developing. We'll come back and we'll talk about Diddy's bond and all that, and we'll finish the little piece that we had. It's just so much information coming. You know, we got to deal with it as we get it. But we will be back, I promise. I hope y'all are enjoying yourselves. Again, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. I love you all. I promise we'll be back. I promise. We will be back, and we will be back today. Okay, this is far from over. Okay, all right. I love you guys. But I have to go. But I will be back. Bye.